Today's reading is from Matthew 14:22-33. And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship, and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray, and when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the fourth watch of the night Jesus went unto them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit, and they cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water, to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand, and caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? And when they were come into the ship, the wind ceased. Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth thou art the Son of God.
Jesus walks on water. This miracle occurred right after Jesus and his disciples fed the 5,000. Jesus instructed his disciples to get back into their boat and set out for Bethsaida. Meanwhile, Jesus sent the people home before he went up into the hills to pray. Later on that evening, Jesus saw the disciples' boat in the middle of the lake and noticed that they appeared to be struggling with the winds and waves. Then Jesus did something unimaginable. Mark 6:48 New Living Translation says, About 3 o'clock in the morning Jesus came toward them, walking on the water. The verse says that Jesus intended to pass them, but they screamed when they saw him because they thought he was a ghost. Jesus spoke immediately by telling them not to be afraid, but instead, said to take courage because he was with them. Right after that, Peter called to Jesus and said, Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you, walking on the water. Matthew 14:28 New Living Translation. Jesus obliged, and over the side of the boat Peter went. At first, things were going well for Peter as he was walking on water toward Jesus. But then he took his eyes off Jesus and eyed the huge waves instead. In that moment, he grew terrified that he was sinking, and he begged Jesus to save him. When Jesus reached down and grabbed Peter, he said, You have so little faith. Why did you doubt me? Then, Peter and Jesus climbed into the boat and the chaos around them settled. And the disciples proclaimed, You really are the Son of God. It's amazing how we can be following Jesus so closely and paying attention to his words, and then, we slightly shift our glance to the troubles around us and immediately begin to sink. Ever been there? It's been said that too often we glance at Jesus and gaze at our problems when we should be doing the exact opposite, gaze at Jesus and glance at our problems. It feels easier to focus on what's wrong, doesn't it? But fixing our eyes on Jesus will bring a calmness to our souls even when trouble looms around us. The question we all need to ask is, where are my eyes fixed? Maybe you're waiting for your own miracle. You're not sure when your heart's desire will be granted, when your healing will come, or when that relationship will be mended. Even in the midst of all of those unknowns, you can still rest in the truth from Jesus. We serve an abundant God who doesn't define us with our doubts, is with us no matter what, calls us to give in faith, and desires that we fix our eyes on him and him alone. Thank you for watching. We hope that you've been blessed today. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. We'll see you again on the next video.